today. From Ford Field in Detroit, it's Week 8 of the NFL on EA Sports. Set to kick off.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
2nd and 11. Hunter Henry brings it in. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And down he goes.
The quarterback taken down.
It's up for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man.
Ronald Jones.
The numbers on the ground for Jones last week. 16 carries, 103 yards, and a touchdown.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one,
there he goes left side. Touchdown, Vikings.
Minnesota.
A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
and when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone, and the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Not much there, only a yard. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. DeMarcus Lawrence able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
And this will be touchdown across midfield at the 45-yard line. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. His 2nd catch, this one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's 2nd down. Here's Jones. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Jones, the ball carrier.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. The tackle made by Blake Martinez.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll run out of the gun with Michel. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Intended for Hunter Henry.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Fielded at the 33. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10.
39-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now throwing on 1st down and completing it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
It's a gain of 20.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On play action, they'll throw. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was trying to find O.J. Howard. And now it's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. And down inside the 15 he goes. 3rd and medium. They opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. 1st down.
Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And that's a touchdown. But hold on, there is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Rosas now to add the PAT.
Extra point.
And it is now 21-0. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota.
Nothing. Aldrich Rosas set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away.
That's fielded on the back line of the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
He'll look to throw to Michelle on the screen. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
Over the middle to Smith. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Man open down the middle of the field. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
This is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well.
Gain of 16 yards. And the Vikings 1st down.
Again, he'll drop the throw. He sets up the screen to Jones. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it up, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And this is caught at the 8. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. This duo locked in, 14 yards there and a 1st down. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a 1st down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again. And he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him. Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact. But in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
This will be caught at about the 6. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats. And scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Rosa's kick is good, and the rout is on. It's 24-0. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Parker, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
At their own 25-yard line.
Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Now you got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Henry's got it out on the left side. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw again, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
1st and 10. At their own 20.
And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Over the middle to Beckel. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Looking for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They're going for Howard, but the pass intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead, and they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. It's incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They'll throw now on the final play. And fires one incomplete. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. Taking it about the 1. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
So here are the Vikings to take over. They've got the lead as they begin this drive 1st and 10, trying to forget about that loss last week to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Fresh out of the line. Room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
Vikings 1st down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
A gain of 14.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Number 10, incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Quick throw complete into the flat out left. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Back to throw again. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
They began with Michelle on the ground. And from the 25, they worked this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now. Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
3rd and 4.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Chris Jones drops him for a loss of 14 yards, and it also brings up 4th down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them.
1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession.
And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. We'll check on his status when we get back. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And a short gain down to about the 33.
He's taken down at the...
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole. That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the 1st down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
44-yard attempt.
Rosas' kick is good.
The kick
And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger.
30. Lions, nothing.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Detroit's offense ready to take over.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30.
Gain of 5.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
On the NFL scoreboard, they are in the 3rd now in New Orleans. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the Bucs having little problem in that one. They've just opened the lead a bit further. And here's a quick throw to start the drive complete. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line.
A gain of 47 yards.
That's how you draw up the run-pass option right there. You get a chunk play out of it.
And you know quarterbacks love to throw the RPOs because oftentimes they're in-breaking routes. But receivers love it even more. The ball gets to them quickly, allows them to put some moves on in the secondary.
Looking left sideline, incomplete. Isaiah Coulter, the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
And for a second straight play, the Lion defense drops him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff. After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives have bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
Fielded near the back of the end zone, and no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And it's Michel once again pushing through the contact. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
First and 10 at the 40.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Lions nothing.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Now a pass here caught by Hunter Henry. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 41-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 41. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 3 yards to gain there, second down.
The screen was executed and completed, but where's the worry on the play? How many times is a quarterback going to get hit? Because offensive linemen have to do an acting job of making sure it looks like they're whiffing on blocks. But you got to slow them down a little bit, because if you don't, that's a lot of big guys coming at your quarterback in a big, fast way. And boy, he can get hurt. We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And this is incomplete. The Lions turned away.
Gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it, but 4th down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from walking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
15 yards on the play, first down.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. The one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
At the 50-yard line.
From the midfield stripe, they look to throw. Open man is Kirk, complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 30. A gain there of 21 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Desmond Trufant on the coverage.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and take and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Too many zeros on the stat sheet thus far. No touchdown passes, no points for his team, but he remains undaunted. Still attempting to get his team on the scoreboard, firing the ball downfield.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line.
at their own 22.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the fourth.
They'll try to run some clock now with Jones. Able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's second down.
3 brings up 2nd and 7.
They'll set up a throw. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
8 yards.
They're looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Here's a quick throw out left. That's caught. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there and a first down.
A gain of 12. First down.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here 1st and 10. No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
3rd down.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side of this one.
Open man is Higgins. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. This pass complete to Higgins. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 down at the 39. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form.